Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Mr. Shakespeare here with you again on the 8th of November, 2022. And right on cue, we are going to, with psychic medium and remote viewer Liz Cross, on the day of the total solar eclipse, we're going to probe the moon. How are we doing, Liz?
Oh, very well, thank you. And so is the moon. The moon is very happy.
Is it? Good. Okay. What's making it? I mean, it's 100% full moon. So
Yep. I went outside and looked at the moon last night.
all right. So why is the moon so happy?
Because changes are coming. The moon is responsible for this big change coming in.
Okay. Can we get a bit more information on the big change as far as the moon is concerned?
Yeah. So the big changes are coming. Ooh, we're about to be thrown into turmoil. Okay. What do you mean we're about to be thrown into? The whole world is about to be thrown into turmoil. So this is a big change. The moon is happy because this is part of its contract with us. As we have done this for quite some time, we understand that the moon and the planets have magnetic pushes and pulls on our emotions and on our beings and on our energy fields. And they bring about a lot of life lessons to us, some positive, a lot negative, and it looks like we're about to go into a really negative cycle.
When you say negative cycle, do you mean negative from an emotional point of view, a financial point of view, an earth change weather point of view? I mean, can you expand out a bit, please?
Emotions. The moon is predominantly associated with emotions. So an emotional point of view. I think we're about to hit some, turbulent times. All of us.
Okay.
Especially with relationships, familial relationships, friendships. There's going to be a lot of distrust going on, a lot of discord. I feel like, a lot of disagreements. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be quite an emotionally turbulent time. And how long is this going to last? I feel like 2 months. So for the next 2 months, I think we're going to see emotional highs, but very emotional lows.
Right. Interestingly, Cliff released something the other day, and he said from this Sunday we're going to enter into a very high period, a long period, about 6-7 weeks. He said of high emotion and stuff, so peaks.
Oh.
So that ties up with this. That's very interesting.
Oh, right. I wonder how he came up with that through his
I don't know. Yeah, probably through his software. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting as well. Like it's going to be a lot of arguing, a lot of disagreements, taking strong political stances. Are we about to head into war? We're getting on the brink of war. Okay. Now, that makes sense to me. When people are on the brink of war, countries, a lot of people start getting heavily emotionally involved and they start taking a firm stance. So this would correlate with what's about to go
on. Okay. When the site, there's another. So this is 100% lunar eclipse, but there's another one which is a 95% one in 6 months' time on the 5th of May. Is this 6-month period? Is this the real sort of emotional drain? Is this the real problem time? Is this the real you know, where everything as bad as it's going to get.
For now, it is. For now, it is. As we move into the new year, we will start to come out of this cycle, and things will resume back to some normality. But definitely, the next couple of months is going to be really difficult emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
These lunar eclipses, they are to bring about like significant change.
Right. But there are two pretty much 6 months apart, 100% one now today and a 95% one 6 months time. So, which is very, very rare, apparently.
Yes, it is. It is, but
so I'm wondering if this is
like,
sort of, you know, the start wax on and then the other one wax off sort of thing. This is the start, the turn off, turn on, and then the other one is the turn off type of. Does that make sense?
Oh, I see. No, I feel like they're two totally unrelated eclipses.
They're not connected then.
No.
All right.
But that was a good question.
Mm-hmm. Ask it what's on the dark side of the moon.
What is on the dark side of the moon? Classified information.
Oh, why did I know that was coming? Right. Okay.
Cryptos are down today.
Sorry?
Cryptos are down at the moment.
Okay. Is the moon any way involved in the crypto cycle?
Yes, very much so. If you remember, we did a video a few weeks ago talking about the eclipse that was going to happen today and how it would affect the crypto market. And we said it was going to be down. And look at it, it's down.
But how does the moon influence the crypto market? And then the next question, how does the moon influence the stock market?
It's all to do with the emotion of fear. So when there's a high level of fear, there's a massive sell-off.
Yes.
Is that true? That's what it's telling me.
Absolutely true, yeah.
Okay. And when there's a high level of confidence, then people buy in. But I feel like there's a lot of fear going on. And the closer we get to this brink of war, there's going to be even more fear. Because people won't know where to put their money.
Right. Well, there are very few safe places. So some people thought that cryptos would be a safe haven, especially Bitcoin. Traditionally, people have put it into things like gold, or cash, I suppose. Okay. Can we project the moon forward?
It doesn't like that.
Well, okay.
But we can.
Okay. Let's roll it forward till the end of next year, shall we? 1 year, in fact.
Okay, so let's go November the 8th, 2023, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay.
How's the moon doing now?
It's doing well.
Okay. How has it been doing this past year? What effects has it had on the world's population and the emotional? I mean, are we all carrying now a lot of emotional baggage?
Yeah, I feel like 2023 is going to be quite traumatizing.
Right. How can we best protect ourselves from being affected by that?
Well, it says really you can't, other than control your emotions.
Okay. So, in other words, the things that are going to happen have to happen, and we have to have them roll over us, generally.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. Okay. Can we ask the moon how the crypto market is doing?
It's stable, but it's down. But it's stable.
Okay. How's the stock market doing?
It's down, but it's stable.
Has it been down all year?
For the most part. I mean, it's had a few, peaks here and there, but for the most part, it's down. What about
when did it actually go down? I mean, noticeably down compared to November the 8th, 2022. When did it go down?
I feel like it's December. It tries to do a little recovery around June, but it's just up, down, up, down, up, down. It's very unstable, very volatile.
Right.
Tech stocks are still relatively low performing.
Okay. Has anything performed well in the last year?
Gold.
Okay. What about silver?
Bonds. Silver perform well. No, silver, no.
No.
Palladium, lithium have done well.
Platinum?
Platinum, not so much.
Okay. What about oil?
How is oil doing? Is the price of oil up or down for the average consumer? The price of oil is up for the average consumer.
Right. So we're all paying more for our energy across the board?
Yes.
What does the moon think of astrology? Is it a science to the moon? Is it relevant? Does the moon think it's relevant?
Yes, it's very relevant. That's a good question. You can actually know what's going to happen just by the moon, right? That's how the moon says it, right? The moon is like, I know everything. It may not know everything, but you can gauge the emotional pull of the moon as to what is going to happen. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that's quite vague. The moon isn't going to tell you the price of crypto and stock market and all of that, but it's just going to give you a general overview. No, we're not going. I keep getting a no on the war thing, but again, right now that's a no. However, maybe we're not supposed to know that we're going to war, because knowing would mean that we would actually be prepared and that we could avoid it on some level. A lot of times you're not supposed to avoid crashes, wars, things like that.
Okay. If the moon knows everything, but it doesn't necessarily obviously know a price of a crypto, does it know emotional sentiment globally?
Yes.
Does it know nation state sentiment? In other words, does it know the difference between the United Kingdom, for instance, and Romania? Would it know the emotional, the overall emotional state of two countries, two nation states?
That's an excellent question. No.
No. So it just knows global sentiment. In other words, everybody's happy, everybody's not so happy, everybody's up, everybody's down, that kind of thing, yeah?
Yes.
Right. So this is something that we can tap into.
Okay.
Because we could use the moon and bear in mind that there are lots of people out there doing TA and predictions that all use on the moon cycles, whether it's, full, partial, eclipse, whatever. But we could, okay, right, let's ask the moon this, can the moon be a reasonably accurate barometer week to week of global sentiment?
Can you be an accurate barometer week to week of global sentiment? Yes.
Excellent.
Uh-oh. Your cogs are turning, Mr. Shakespeare. Here he goes. Another spreadsheet. Get your calculator out.
Okay, so today is the 8th of November 2022. What is the global sentiment for the next week?
Fear. Is there going to be any there will be some confidence for the next couple of days, because obviously there's an election taking place here. So things will settle down. I feel like the stock market will go up, but then we start going into a new, phase, which is where, the game of, actually, you call it something different over there. The game of Risk. What do you call it over there? Right.
Risk. Yeah. We call it Risk.
You call it Risk.
Yeah.
I love that game. I used to play the game when I was little, with my dad and my mom. We used to play that. I was like 6 years old. I loved it. It's kind of like we're going into the game of Risk. We're moving equipment. They're moving equipment. We're getting closer. They're getting closer. That's what we're going into. You're going to start seeing more and more information coming out where troops are going to start lining up around the area. Okay? We're going to see that a lot, particularly around Thanksgiving, which is, for those of you outside of the U.S., is going to be around the third or fourth Thursday in November. I think it's quite late this year. Yeah, but that's what we're going to see is, more reports of troops getting into line. Now, it's going to be reported that they're just doing training exercises, but that won't be the case. Well, they will be doing training exercises, but with a purpose.
Right. What can the moon tell us about the elections that are happening today? So we need to be out a few days, a week, at the end of so let's be out of them by the 15th of November.
Can you tell us about the elections? It looks like, with any election, no matter which way it goes, it always tugs on the hopium heartstrings.